of course we'll continue. You couldn't ask for a better stage than this. This is getting interesting. Yeah, Ichi-kun, let's do our best, okay? Do our best. Oh. And I was already fully charged. Mortal laws and common sense held no power before the might of Rena in her cute mode. I definitely didn't want to fight her if possible. Rika-chan, do your best. We're all cheering you on. Okay, I'll do my best. Rika-chan, who was exuding way too much charm no matter how you looked at it, had already won over most of the onlookers to her side. Nonchalantly avoiding things had always been Rika-chan's creed. Let me just check, I wanna see what Rika-chan looks in this. Okay. Huh, that's an interesting dress. Rika-chan's creed, but for her to be blatantly laying out her machinations like this, something was definitely strange. Like Rena, she was somebody who didn't want to... Oh, you cannot see the text. Let me make the headpads a little bit smaller. There we go. Like Rena, she was somebody who I didn't want to fight if I could help it. Of course, the one you don't want to fight the most is Mion-san. I've been lucky to... Who will not get the prize in this game? I'm pretty sure that Satoko will not get the prize. I'm sure that this time Satoko will lose. I've been lucky to even leave alive more than a few times at the end of club activities, but I don't think there was a day that even came close to being this dangerous. Mion-san seems to have developed quite the grudge after losing that poker match a few days back, you know. Huh, that would be rather strange for Mion to lose. It seems that way. In other words, today is just an elaborate stage for her revenge. Almost as though she were psychic, Mion turned towards us. Her eyelids silently conveyed the message. You guys just figured that out now? It wasn't just Mion, both Rena and Rika-chan were more pumped up than they'd ever been. Yeah, one's gonna pop up today. Without a doubt there will be casualties. It seems that somehow Keiichi-san and I are the only ones left. What do you think? Should we not have our match during the opening round? Yeah, I'm of course. I only wish the worst things for Satoko. Might as well. I need to warm up before I can really kick it into gear. My spinal column shuddered like it had been struck by a jolt of lightning, and like a pillar of ice was being jammed into it began to freeze. I could almost see the flames backlighting Satoko with their intensity. Even then, Satoko was displaying a normal smile. It was cold and inhuman, almost as if it were a plastic mask. You must truly want to eliminate me in the opening round. You can't hide that murderous intent. Oh, that's too bad. You're being uncharacteristically cautious today, Keiichi-san. Without a doubt, it was a trap. I don't know what she had up her sleeve, but if I fought with Satoko during the opening round, my loss would be more certain than if I went against Mion. A pitch-black miasma permeated the inside of the store. Club members from favorite to least favorite. Favorite is of course Rena, because of obvious reasons. Then Rika and then Mion, then finally Satoko. Far behind Satoko. Or maybe I should put Keiichi in there somewhere. Probably below Mion. Just because he's the main character. He's rather lame. Rather plain, as it were. Did they all want to win that 50,000 yen prize so much? No, that's not right. The only ones competing for the prize money were the casual participants. I was different. I had mistaken this as just a way to fool around on a normal Sunday. It didn't matter when it was or where it was or who our opponents were. In our club, the goal is always the very top of the mountain. An intense flame that no strong winds could extinguish, hot enough to melt any steel, except steel. Jet fuel can't melt steel beams. Began to burn inside me. The fuse had been lit on this unprecedentedly intense club. Unprecedentedly intense club battle. That's a annoying word to say. It was then that the owner of the store told Mion in a lackadaisical voice that it was about the time to begin. Is everybody ready? Listen close now. Mion began with the formalities, standing in for the owner and explained the rules of today's tournament. You're only playing to win. There's no second or third place. That's the same rule as our club. There were 15 people participating. We were to split into 5 groups via draw, and each group would have one winner. Each winner in the first stage would advance to the next in order to compete in the final. Now, as for how each group will compete, each table can decide to play whatever they want. As long as the game is here in the shop, anything goes. Already in club mode Defcon 1, I didn't let the small gap in the rules go unnoticed. Leon, can I ask a question? Won't everybody push to play a game they're good at and not be able to agree on which one? Oh, that's right. If we can't decide, we can't start. The spectators also nodded along. It was only natural. There wasn't anybody who could simply cede to their opponent's suggestion. I'd prefer if you were all good sports and managed to come to a decision on your own, but if it comes to a stalemate, should we have the store's owner decide for you? It was an event at the toy store after all. Toy store. You'd expect the owner to referee. After that, Mion's rundown continued. It ended with the rule that any losing participants would have to buy the game they lost at. A rather nice proposition for the store. First, we used a draw to split into 5 groups. Everybody lined up single file and began to draw tickets that the shop owner had prepared. It was my turn. Alright, time to draw. No matter who I was up against, I'd crush him. At that moment, Mion began to laugh with a hawkish gleam in her eye. Of course, I'm sure you already know, but club members will have a separate penalty game than the casual participants. I thought as much. What's the gist of it? The winner gets to give the losers one order each. Contrary to how simple it sounded, it was a terrifying eventuality, the subject of which no one could predict. Damn you, Mion. Was she really planning on parading me around Hinamizawa in cat ears and banana hammock with a tail attached or something? The look on Mion's face told me she wasn't going to let me off that easy. On top of that, this time it wasn't just the person who finished last who'd have to submit to the penalty game. The losers get one order each. In other words, even if you don't finish last, you still have to do a penalty game. That'd be the case. What about if there's no winner? Like if all the club members drop out middle way through? Kei-chan, are you alright in the head? What? The look in Mion's eyes became that of a lion bearing its fangs. How exactly are the elite members of our club going to lose some mewling newborns? Kei-chan, don't embarrass me by getting eliminated in the first round. Even so, I didn't feel threatened. The more into it my opponent was, the stronger I would become. You just wait and see. I won't just sit here and be bullied by you, Mion. I'll show you. We shall meet in the finals. The result of the draw were enough to make you try conspiracy. All the members of the club were nicely divided up amongst the 5 tables. How did this happen when the draw was that random? The thought that that I was already caught in Mion's puppet strings made me feel uneasy. That was fine though. I'll crush all your petty tricks. Now, where were my opponents? Everybody was headed to the table corresponding to the number on their ticket. The competition at my table was these two, huh? They look younger than me. Huh? Aren't you two classmates of mine? Oh hi, I'm Tomita. This is Okamura. Okamura greeted me by nodding his head. So my opening round was to be against my juniors from school. Just saying, but it seemed like a pretty easy matchup. Lucky. Rocky. Time to destroy them without mercy. Alright then everybody. Please decide on your games and start. With Mion's declaration, the inside of the store suddenly became lively. Everybody was yelling their favorite games at each other, trying to gain an advantage before they started. Even my two classmates, who seemed taciturn at first glance, began to fiercely insist on their own games as soon as the signal was given. Of course I would kick those suggestions aside. There was absolutely no reason to pick a game your opponent was good at. Sorry, they're all games I don't know. Could you pick something a little more well-known? Of course they didn't agree with the games I suggested either. I could only smirk bitterly. Oh, there's actually a picture of him. That's a rather plain-looking boy. I won't be showing that in the chat. He looks very plain. It's fine though. It's fine to be plain looking. Naturally, after 5 minutes, this table still couldn't agree on a game. Oh, I just realized. Side character kit, not even a window seat. Okay. Another one, huh? Okay. Well, he looks bored. Obeying the rules, we asked the store owner to decide on a game. Clearing his throat, the shop owner brought over a board game from the back of the store. It was a game called Billionaire. Quite the vintage we have here. Come to think of it, if you lose, you have to buy this game. That damned shop owner, was he using this competition to get rid of all the games he couldn't sell? I know this one. You guys do too, right? Spin the wheel and head to the goal. Whoever has the most money after we liquidate our assets is the winner. The two nodded in agreement and finally the game was underway. At that time, I already had a feeling of impending crisis. I wouldn't realize why until the game progressed a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Celebrate the birth of your child. Receive 5,000 from everybody. Sorry. Okay, I've built a bit of a lead. Up to 8. Bonus. Receive 100,000 from the bank. What? Tables were turned in an instant? 1, 2, 3. Proceed to the corporate ladder course. Oh, that's a good route. It seemed like only my piece was landing on steady spaces. I had doubts as to why Mion didn't bring out board games for club activities, but that reason was laid bare to me before my eyes. That's right. I had only realized it now. This game was completely based on luck. What could I possibly do to make sure I ended up in the first place at the end? The ultimate outcome of this game was decided in a place beyond human hands. How were the other club members doing? My eyes naturally wandered off to the other tables. Mion's table was... What? They weren't doing anything? Had they still not decided on a game? This naive idea existed to distract me from the most frightening possibility. Mion was lounging about leisurely, holding some juice she bought from the vending machine outside in one hand. When our eyes met, she gave me a look of ease. It couldn't be. She'd already finished? What game was it? That easily? It was probably too late to be concerned with that at this point. Only 5 minutes since we started and her two opponents were already beyond recalls. They were sitting there, slumped over in disappointment, muttering to themselves, trying to figure out where they went wrong. For that they'd find no answer. Was there any reason for their defeat other than they sat at the same table as Mio? Then what about Rena's table? The spectators were causing quite a commotion. It looked like their game was Karuta. The shop owner was apparently the one reading out the cards. Rena tended to dawdle along and space out a lot. Wouldn't she have a hard time with this game? Then I'll read it out. The dog gets tired on a walk. Wham! At the same instant, the shop owner began sounding off the words. The card in question disappeared off the face of the table. No, the face of the earth. Impossible, where did it go? It was against Rena's cheek. She was rubbing it there. Oh, so cute. I'm taking it home. Looking at the card Rena was rubbing against her cheek, it was some anime-themed version of Karuta, with rather cute moe illustrations decorating the cards. Basically, it was a picture of pretty dog girl with a slightly large chest, panting and half in tears as she was being pulled along on a chain. With those types of pictures, even I could play with godlike speed. Of all people to play that game, it had to be Rena. It was entirely possible that her fingertips were on the verge of breaking the sound barrier. It's over. Mion smiled coolly. Seeing no further reason to keep watching, she turned back. So cute, so cute. Even if Rena wins, I'll still buy these cards. I'm taking them home. Huh. After that, the second card started being read. Bam, bam. Such decisive sounds echoed. Well then, how about Satoko? Oh, she was playing a rather orthodox game. Concentration. Judging from the distressed look on Satoko's face, it seemed that she was struggling somehow. One of the main characteristics of concentration is that the pace of the game speeds up as it goes on. As the number of cards to memorize decreases, it becomes easier to match several pairs in a row. It wouldn't be exaggeration to say that the first person to take over the flow of the match can run away as the winner. The cards still in play had decreased. If you memorize the cards that had been turned over before, you should have a good chance to sweep the table at this point. Satoko probably knew the positions of all the remaining cards. However, her turn came a little too late. If her opponent followed up, the match would be decided. Hojo. Sorry, but I am also aiming for the prize money. Don't hate me for this. This guy, did he have the locations of the remaining cards memorized? He was completely certain of his victory. The tension on his face relaxed. It's over. I whispered in that in bored manner as I turned my attention back to my own game. I spun the wheel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What? No way. The Ace of Hearts should have been here. There was commotion at Satoko's table as the shout rang out. The other two at my table turned around in surprise. I didn't. After all, there really wasn't anything to be surprised about. The onlookers were confounded, most of them certain that the Ace of Hearts should have been there. There's no way, I must be seeing things. It must have been because I was excited. So assured in his victory, the distress over his defeat ran deep. That's how it is. If his opponent wasn't Satoko, then the Ace of Hearts certainly would have been there. What a fool. When you're up against Satoko, you can't let your guard down for a moment until the battle is over. Keiichi-san, you still haven't finished your match? You have no sense for these things. With a refined tone reserved for only winners, Satoko called out to me. For the casual observer, it must have looked like she only eked out a victory. From my point of view, however, she was only playing around. The roles of winner and loser had already been decided. It was nothing more than a child's play. The laughable part about it was that her opponent didn't know his role had already been assigned. Nice work there, setting up pass trap with the ace of hearts. My opponent only walked into one of my traps. Even then, one was more than enough. Satoko was a trapper. Her true talent was never having one misfire. Setting off only one trap was more than enough? Ain't that cool. The fact that the other club members were winning one after another with their own brand of play only added to my impatience at my own lack of progress. Oh right, how was Rika-chan doing? How's our club's little sly fox doing? What the heck is that? Over in that corner, the mood of the table was decidedly different from the others. The game at Rika-chan's table was, you know, that battery-powered fishing game? The one where the fish opened and closed their mouths as they rotated. Don't flatter yourself, you were never even a player. Yeah. That is a legendary line. Azula was just legendary as well. She was really good antagonist. So goddamn good. Now makes me want to watch Avatar again. I probably will watch it again. So damn good. One where the fish opened and closed their mouths as they rotated on the platform and you used a magnetic fishing rod to pick them up. That old thing. It seemed they planned on competing by seeing who could catch the most fish, but it had become an atmosphere you could hardly call competitive. Wow, I got one. You're so good. Rika-chan, you're so good at this. Oh my, she got another one. Rika-chan is really good at this. I knew that Rika-chan had already charmed her opponents, along with own Lucas before the match had even begun, but brilliantly played. That corner had become an informal meeting of the Rika Furude fan club. Best strategy to win? Probably Rena, because she's actually exceeding the potential of humanity. It's Rika-chan's total victory. Total victory. Rika-chan's good at the fishing, isn't she? What Rika-chan is trolling for probably isn't fish. Hearing that, she glanced over my way briefly. This is my way of getting serious. That's what I heard. This is a masterful technique that only Rika is allowed. Only Rika can do. Yeah, a masterful technique. Maibara-san, it's your turn. Oh, sorry. Yes, it is. 1-2. Fined for tax evasion. Pay $50,000. In contrast, my game, what an unseemly situation this was. Noticing the uneasiness creeping across my face, my companions came to see how I was doing. Ha, Kei-chan, could it be you're struggling? You're struggling? Okamura, right now, how much money do you have? Okamura, who had wrung lots of money out the elite course, began to count through a stack of white $100,000 bills. About 980k, I guess. How much money do you have, Tomita? I have 880,000. I'm still close enough to turn this around. Those two, it looked like they would easily surpass $1 million. Well, Kei-chan, how much do you have? Mion's tone of voice was grim from the get-go. It was her disappointment and disgust as club president. It can't be helped. There's no strategy involved other than spinning the wheel in this game. How am I supposed to cheat? Tell those two to close their eyes and count to 100 while I rig the wheel? You know there's no way I can do that. Rika-chan gently pet my head. Still, she wasn't too happy. How pathetic. At one point I thought you'd be a worthy adversary. I've been utterly disillusioned. Don't give up, Keiichi-kun. There has to be some way to make a comeback. Do your best, right till the end. Like I said, how am I supposed to make a comeback with this game relying entirely on luck? Right, Mion? Mion's face, however, was almost unbelievably indifferent, like she was watching something completely unexciting. She then turned her back without saying a word. Hey, Mion? It was a pathetic voice that irked even myself. I'm disappointed. Everybody was serious about this, but Kei-chan was the only one who wasn't. What do you mean by serious? Are you telling me to control the spinner through sheer force of will? Yes. Rena is the only one who is just absolutely amazing at the game. Rena is, like I said, Rena is the only one who has surpassed human limits. Is this the power of true instinct? How can I do that? If you were serious about it, you would have settled this game 10 seconds from when you started. Mii-chan, you don't have to get so angry. Wait. Mion, in a bad mood, cast me aside and disappeared into the depths of the shop. Maybe it was because it had become an awkward situation, but the spectators dispersed from around my table. Damn it, are you saying I'm not serious about this? I was saying if I were serious I would have settled this game in chance in 10 seconds. What is this? Well, that is indeed rather disappointed, Luke. Really quite disappointed. If I were serious, everybody was praying for my victory. They believed in me. Did I betray their expectations? Was it because I wasn't serious? Ugh. Should we continue the game? The two of them were timidly trying to resume play. I didn't respond to that. The table sunk into silence. Maebara-kun, should I take that to mean you're giving up? The owner, thinking that I was forfeiting, started to announce the cancellation of the game. At that moment, the demon inside me let loose a howl and awakened. I get it now, Mion. What it means for me to be serious. I'll show you. Bam! I clammed my hands on their shoulders, speaking in a low voice after pulling them closer. Tomita-kun, Okamura-kun, let's make a deal. Let me win. The two of them, not immediately understanding what I had just said or the meaning behind it, were momentarily confused. Hey Maebara-san, no violence. Let's settle this game properly. Just listen to what I have to say. What is it you guys want? The 50,000 yen prize? Well, of course. Winning that kind of money is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Even supposing you win, what are you going to do with that money? How are you going to enjoy it? The two of them considered it briefly. Buy a new game or something? Snacks? Maybe some juice? That's petty. So petty. Are you guys stupid? Then how will you enjoy it if you win, Maebara-san? Me? That's the point. Just shut up and listen to what I have to say. We club members have a permanently game separate from the casual participants. If we lose, we have to obey a single command from the winner. From another point of view, the winner earns the prize of being able to order the other club members around. First of all, Tomita-kun, you like Satoko, right? Don't deny it. Next, Okamura-kun, you like Rika, right? Don't turn red. Two of them red-faced and conscious of whether anybody else heard what I just said. Even closer. Lollies. Moe. Pretty girls. What men covet, what men dream about. It's like an unreachable Garden of Eden. Even then, you'd still aim for it, wouldn't you? That's because our passionate souls scream for Moe. Yes. I quite agree with that statement. That sensitive age where you couldn't say you liked the girl you couldn't say you liked the girl you liked. Understanding that gave me all the more power. Tomita-kun, if I win, I'll make Satoko wear a collar and be your little sister for our day. A red fountain spewed from both of Tomita-kun's nostrils. Also Okamura-kun, I'll put cat ears on Rika-chan and let you take her out for a walk on a leash. Blood erupted from the vein in Okamura-kun's forehead. Don't be shy. Just pretend I forced you to go along with me. You two are simply sacrifices to Maebara-senpai's whims. You can pretend to be against it. I understand. I know everything that your hearts desire. Then I suddenly lowered the tone of my voice. My school life was very bleak. I know with my very body how foolish it is to waste such an important time in your lives. So to you, my juniors, I don't want you to live your lives like that. Be honest with yourselves. Chase your dreams. Fulfill them. I'll fulfill them for you. I will. It was this moment that the values of men bridged generations. Maibara-san! Did I ever have a mentor who ever spoke my mind for me so strongly? Never. There was no way there was. That's because in a man's lifetime he'll only have 3 fateful encounters. That valuable first time was being experienced right this moment with these 2. It's fine then. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3. Game over. It was such an assertive declaration of the game's ending that everybody in the store turned and looked. It had been less than 3 minutes since I was on the verge of forfeit and all the spectators certain of my loss. Keiichi-san, what happened? Who won? It was my complete victory. What did you say? Exactly how did you overcome that situation? There's no need to explain what happened. It was a gentleman's agreement. Right, guys? Yes, sir. The 2 of them, stifling tears of gratitude, answered strongly from the bottom of their hearts. Exactly what kind of miracle occurred here during those 3 minutes, the spectators all looked away from my utter disadvantage. What's this picture? Yeah. Yeah. You did it, Keiichi-kun. Yay! The spectators were puzzled at how I was able to so quickly overcome that hopeless situation. That guy, is he able to control the spinner wheel with his eyes or something? It's a miracle. What devilry is this? He's in cahoots with that Mion, you know. There's no doubt he had some strange trick up his sleeve. I looked at the crowd who couldn't help but be excited out of the corner of my eye. Now fully awakened and in battle mode, I let out a derisive laugh. So this is what it means for me to be serious. Mion. You took your sweet time. Baring our fangs at each other, we laughed together in a most unsightly fashion. With this, all the club members have cleared the first round then. Which means this time it's a match against everybody. A match. I've already decided what I'm going to buy with the prize money. That's only natural, right? Satoko and Rena sneered at each other. These guys. Do they really think they can win against Keiichi Maibara when he gets serious? Mion, that was a mistake. You shouldn't have offered me advice just now. What a mewling newborn you are. You're a million light years too early to think you can win against me. Yeah, the club members seem to be kind of douches, honestly. But hey, it's a living. You can win against me. Mion, light years are a measure of distance. Oh, she's embarrassed. She's embarrassed. What are we doing, Mi-chan? How are the 5 of us going to face off? How? Well now. We have such a splendid lineup. It would be a waste to rush things. Me is saying something complicated again. It couldn't be. Why you? Mion's hair flowed elegantly, almost like a cape, as she turned her back to the table. As for today's contest, I, Club President Mion Sonosaki, will reserve judgment for now. The method and time are yet undecided. The more spectators, the better. It should be in front of everybody in Hinamizawa and Okinomiya. By then we'll know the best way to finally settle things. Are you running away from this? This is too unfair, even for you, Mion-san. You newborn. Do you still not realize what has happened? the combative aura billowing out of Mion's body from the barrier, stopping Satoko's advance. We'll meet again. Prepare yourself for your inevitable defeat. With a shrill laugh, Mion left the store. After a moment of silence, the crowd erupted into cheers. When will they resume the contest? Mion's serious. The other members did great too. That new guy Maibara, he's got some strange power. He turned the tables in an instant. Maibara-san, you've got to win. Yeah, I'll dunk someone like Mion headfirst into the river of Styx for ya. Part of the crowd that had apparently overheard the covenant between Tomita-kun, Aokira-kun and myself erupted into a cheer again. Mion's going to win anyways. She's the undefeated empress. I don't think I will be going for very long, so like because my throat is getting kind of hoarse here, so we'll probably change the game in like 10 minutes or so. I'm betting on Mion. No, it's going to be Rena with that ungodly speed. Hi, Nagels. Satoko the trap artist. Rika the siren. It may be a long shot, but it'll be Maibara. However, right now, I had no ear for those cheerful voices. Setting the stage for this huge match and then running away like that. I wasn't going to forgive Mion. Outside of the store, Mion was getting on her bike as the shop owner was seeing her off. Don't run away, Mion. If you're the club president, don't run. Fight me! Oh, sorry, Kei-chan. Right now, I've got to get to my part-time job. Huh? Like you would see in a sketch comedy show, my legs slipped in opposite directions until I was doing the splits. Yeah. While you were playing your game, Michan received a phone call. It's too bad. It was just getting good too, not our lucky day. They're getting crushed at the sale over at my uncle's store. They don't have enough people to work the registers, so he called me for help. When you say your uncle, does he manage a supermarket or something? It's just a small store, but whenever you put stuff on special, all the housewives swarm in like locusts. Don't they have any common sense? Even though they don't have enough staff, they're selling a carton of eggs for 10 yen, limit 1 per customer. I was a little surprised. You would never think that this was the club president exuding such a dark aura inside the store was just a short time ago. It was the usual Mion right now, almost exasperatingly so. My shoulders slumped. That's right, club mode was over now. But it was really heated today. It was really fun. Damn Mion, she really knows how to fire people up. Me too. I got so fired up my head started to tingle. Especially Kei-chan, that was scary. I thought he was going to eat me alive there. It's work, so I guess there's nothing you can do, but it's really too bad. I really want to continue this some other time. Anytime is good. How about we do it at the Watanagashi Festival? Oh! The Cotton Drifting 5 Demon Firefight. That's right. I'll think about it. Right now, what were Rika-chan and Mion talking about? Watanagashi Festival? Cotton Drifting 5 Demon what? I love it when things turn out over the top and manga-like. It'd be nice if we could have another thrilling club activity like this soon. She laughed with a smile that made you feel refreshed just looking at it. At that moment, the store owner came out carrying a paper bag. I wonder what that is. What it is. Is he giving it to us? Thank you everybody for today. Thanks to you, the event went really well. It's not much, but here's a little something for you guys. Hey Uncle Yoshiro, isn't there a little something for me too? My, quite an adorable one, is it not? When Satoko and Rika-chan opened up the bag, there were cute little stuffed animals inside. Wow, they're so cute. Can I take them home? I really can? Which means there's something for me too. Oh, I got a pretty adorable one. It was a stuffed toy wearing a beautiful dress, one used to play a house. Rena's eyes were glued to my stuffed doll. Sadako's was the same, and Rika-chan too? Kei-chan got the one that fits him the least. How do I say this? I could say it's pretty or cute. Well, I guess it's pretty and cute and pretty. I can admit it's adorable. But a doll with changeable clothes, it's if you walked around with it, then you'd be treated like weirdo starting tomorrow. Definitely. Mion didn't have to go that far. This wasn't something a guy like me should be carrying around. Mion was the only one who hadn't received a present, so I thought about giving it to her. Instead, however, after briefly considering, I gave it to Rena instead. Huh? You're giving it to me? To Rena? Thank you. Just protecting myself. If I didn't give it to Rena, then walking the streets at night would be scary. Oh? Aww. I'll show this CG on the stream real quick. Yeah, the game at the very least has a lot of time to handle this, so it's done quite well. Let me just show this CG on the stream. Everybody, take a look at it. It's a lovely CG. Quite good. We're gonna keep that. It's a nice picture, so we're keeping it. No doubt, no doubt. I thought about giving it to Mion, but it just didn't feel right. You know it. I sometimes wonder why I wasn't born a boy. It's better that you're a girl. If you were a boy, I would have killed you already. Impending doom. You should kill me while you still can. If you don't, Kei-chan, you might not live to regret it. Mion laughed after saying such an ominous line. Everybody laughed heartily along with her. Ask God to make you a boy in your next life. I'll also have him make me a boy. Then together the two of us will start with taking over the country as a warm-up. Mion-chan, if you don't get going soon, the shop owner told her meekly. The lot of us looked like we were having a lot of fun, so it must have been hard to put a wet blanket on things. Later then. Today was really fun. I'll see you later, guys. Tomorrow at school. Don't be late for work. Everybody waved their hands and watched as Mion left. Before I knew it, the sun was already setting and the breeze carried a hint of chill. Should we play for a bit more in town? Or should we go home? The road gets scary when it's dark. Yeah, poor Mion. Although Kei-chan actually gave his away, so... Oh well, the road gets scary when it's dark. Then I guess it's time to leave. We certainly caused a ruckus today. We sure did. Okay, let's go home. The wind blew gently, as if to cool down those of us flushed with enthusiasm. The road back to Hinamizawa was long, but I didn't really mind. Oh, that's right, Rena-san, you achieved overwhelming victory, didn't you? When Rena gets like that, I'm sorry to say it, but there's no winning against her. It was because the cards were so cute. See? I bought them. Oh. Rika was the same as usual. When it comes to boys, it's like taking candy from a baby. It was an easy win. How much was calculated and how much was natural? I get scared when I think about how Rika will turn out in the future. Sadako-chan was amazing too. The way it ended was really exciting. It wasn't the sort of game where I should be complimented. Oh, Gage, you also showed your fangs at the end there. Hmm? Well, I guess. I'm the type of guy who's strongest when he's cornered. Tomita-san and the others seemed to be cheering you on really hard. What was that about? He made some sort of promise with Tomita and Okamura. That it's probably a secret. A secret? A secret? Oh, I wonder what it is, I wonder. Sometimes for a man there are times where I can only understand one another by fighting. Desperately laughing, I frantically tried to avoid the subject. After that, everybody continued to praise each other for how they defeated their opponents and reflected on how fun today was. Everybody look, the sunset is beautiful. Satoko, getting even more excited, pointed, waiting where her finger indicated was an immense sunset, casting even longer shadows of us on our bikes. The cries of the Higurashi were gentle and very comforting. I wonder if this is the end of the chapter. Yes. So we'll go with the read the tip and then we'll change game. Game Master's achievement. Who is Mion's uncle? Yep, sorry. I suddenly got called into my part-time job at my uncle's shop today. What's that? No club today then? Well, I'm sorry. Mion put her hands together in apology and grinned. If you really want to do club today, then you can always do it without this, old man. The club locker is stuffed full with games. You can pick whatever you want. The club locker was a trans-dimensional space from which Mion pulled games whenever we met for club activities. I wondered how so many freaking games could be stored in the locker. It was even smaller than the one with the cleaning supplies in it. Besides those games, it was also a cornucopia of suspicious objects costumes for punishment games. If we lined them all up on the floor in order to sort them, they would definitely fill the entire classroom. Nah, we shouldn't. I get the feeling that if I mess around in that locker, everything inside will come tumbling down on me. Yeah, I guess you're right. Maybe amateurs shouldn't meddle with this. Mion gave a hearty laugh, implying that the only one who could do so was the club president. Me? The teacher is looking for the key to the gym storehouse. Do you have any idea where it could be? Eh? Parallel to the shrine stash building. I have no clue what you're talking about. Huh? Did I not return it to the teacher's lounge? Mion said, feeling about in her pocket. Judging by her expression, she must have planned on returning it, but it was still in her pocket. I knew you had it, Mion-san. I knew beyond a shadow of doubt that you simply must have been the one who had it. I was right too. Satoko and I were both right. Giggling, Satoko and Rika-chan clapped their hands together in celebration. You're annoying. Slap, clap. Mion elbowed Satoko and Rika-chan in their heads, then headed to the teacher's lounge. Oh right, have you two heard? Mion has a part-time job, that's why she's not coming to the club. Oh, is that so? That's so very droll of her. Me? Well, two of them made disappointed faces. Whatever anyone said, Mion's club was always the #1 thing I looked forward to when going to school. It wasn't hard to agree with their melancholic expressions after hearing it wouldn't be happening today. So Mion's got a part-time job. I wonder what she's doing anyway. Whenever Mion cancelled club, it was usually because of her job. However, it also didn't seem like she went there every day. She would go there 2 or 3 days in a row, then not go at all for a while. It sounded like a pretty damn random part-time job. She isn't working at any one shop or anything. She isn't? Then does that mean she's a day laborer? Mion wearing socks and a helmet, sweating to death in factory. I couldn't imagine such a thing. Mion-san helps her uncles out whenever their employee... I should do some bloopers for a while. Employees go on vacations. She's like a handyman. I get it. Now that you mention it, her having a job at her uncle's place. I think I've heard about that before. She has a lot of uncles who run their own shops, so Mi is in very high demand. She has a lot of uncles who own shops? A lot of them. Oh, you were unaware, Keiichi-san? There are many relatives to of Mion-sons in Okinomiya who run their own stores. Huh, I didn't know of that. So they're all different kinds. Yes. There's a bakery, a produce market, a ramen shop, and many others besides. That toy store we went for the club the other day is one of them. I was dumbfounded. That's amazing. Is Mion's family blessed with some kind of crazy business sense? They run so many different things, it's kind of amazing. There are others like Loan Shark, a land shark, a strip club, and a brothel. Hearing Rika say that, that's rather... well, unusual. Just another day in the Sonosaki Empire. Yeah. What I'm saying is they do lots of things. Okay, a couple of weird things came up that time, but still. I could tell it was pretty extensive. So the reason she's so fussy about returning money she lent you is because the blood of loan sharks runs through her veins, huh? That explains that. Once I completely forgot to pay me back for money she gave me to go shopping. And she threatened me saying that if I didn't return it at all, she'd throw me into the red light district and that would be the end of me. Rika-chan being sold into the entertainment industry to pay off her debts. Oh crap, my nosebleed. Dying by being thrown on the ground must be the silliest form of death I've ever heard of. Huh? She doesn't really get it, does she? Recently she seemed so unspoiled. Rika-chan and I gave her a pat on the head. Huh? Why are you petting me? We are petting you because you're a good girl, Satoko. Satoko was lost in confusion, but she seemed to understand that she was being made fun of. Okay. So, now we'll change game. We'll change the game. Any idea what Mion is doing? No, no clue. But I have an idea what we'll be doing in a second. And that is over there. But first of all, I think I need more water. So, I'll be right back with y'all. I'll be back in a moment.